What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another J-drama score reaction, and we're returning to the soundtrack to Crisis, which I think is 2016. Is it 2015? I think it's 2016. In any case, I'm currently doing a watch-along of this show over on my Patreon, so shout out to Michaela and Dawn who've been watching, and any others who've been following along without commenting. And if you haven't, and if you are interested in great soundtrack music, and as well as a pulse-pounding, politically intrigued, and action-based show, I would recommend going over and checking it out if you haven't started already. In any case, the point is, we're going to listen to another tune by Yamamoto Kohta, one of two composers for this soundtrack, and this one is called King KAJI, and it's stylized in all caps. And yeah, this is another tune which suggests both a bit of uncertainty, there's a sense of mystery, or maybe even better, the idea of detection. There's a feeling of we've got to figure things out. There's also a bit of an Eastern bent to this one. It has a bit of an East Asian sound in certain elements, and it's another dynamic tune. It's another track that has some different moments, some different feelings as it plays out over the duration, which I think is only a little bit over 2 minutes. It's not a particularly long tune, whereas there are some tracks in the soundtrack like Scissork, Crisis Backward, which is by the other composer for this one, which is Sawano Hiroyuki. But yeah, that one's like 7 minutes long. So this is one of the shorter tracks, but it's another tune that I think of the team, the Crisis Special Security Squad team in the show, trying to figure out what's happening, and as I've described in some of the previous reactions, and as you will see if you watch the show, and I will talk about in my watch-along installments, there's a sense that the team is being used to take care of situations that the government doesn't want to acknowledge, or in some cases helping people who maybe don't deserve to be aided because of actions they've taken, but at the same time, it would be problematic if whatever danger is afoot is allowed to play out. So yeah, it's a complicated show, and I think a track like this conveys that complexity very well. So let's give it a listen. This is by Yamamoto Kohta, one of two composers for the soundtrack, a tune from Crisis Special Security Squad, and it's called King KAJI. I love it. It's weird. It's not overly dense, but I think it is quite complex, both rhythmically and in terms of the sonic elements. Again, there's like a stand-up contrabass strumming away. There's a like keyboard line. There's some like hand drum sounds and a syncopated percussive rhythm. Also, this like respiration to the track. Then there's those sliding pulses that are dominated by the percussion, even almost like a sleigh bell type of sound in those. And again, it has a bit of an East Asian feel, but as I was hearing it, and especially with that fiddle, it's a bit East Asian, but almost like a bit Celtic. It feels almost like an Irish fiddle at a couple moments. So, yeah, and there's again a bit of suspense, a bit of uncertainty, but also a sense that the powers that be, the protagonist of the tune and the show, are trying to unwind and unravel that complexity and figure out what must be done and what is right to do. So maybe I'm reading a bit into the tune based on my viewing of the show, but I really do think the track conveys the complexity of the show quite well and the earnest nature of trying to uncover the uncertainty and the suspense. So yeah, I think it's a top tune and a soundtrack full of them, and I'm looking forward to going through the rest of the show. Again, there's more than half the show left. I've gone through 4 episodes, and it was on a bit of a pause during the holiday break, but I just did a reaction or a watch along for the 4th episode a couple days ago. So yeah, the watch along is ongoing on my Patreon. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description here for those who might be interested. So let me know what you think of the tune, and I will see you next time. Peace.